Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. Okay, so today we will present about the issue of human resource planning, and the company we choose is Netflix. Okay, as we know, Netflix is the most famous platform that have many kind of movies, series, documentaries and others. So I will start with the background of Netflix. Okay, Netflix is categorized under video rental and media streaming company. This company was founded by American entrepreneur back in 1997. Okay, the founders for Netflix are Reed Hastings and Mark Randall. In the beginning, Netflix was only operated as a movie rental service. It was just as simple as borrow and return service like in the library, but they did it by using DVDs. After a years of operating, Netflix has evolved its services into the world's largest internet entertainment platform by having more than 150 million paid subscribers in more than 190 countries in the world. This platform serves lots of documentaries, TV series, cartoons, and various genres of movie and film. Okay, other than that, this company also produce their own original movies, which has got a lot of subscribers. Okay, that's all the background of Netflix. So we will continue with my group mate with the next point.
Thank you, Ikmal, for the great explanation on company background. Now I will proceed on my part, which is how does human resource planning are being implemented in the company. Before that, here are some illustrations on what human resource planning. There are 6 steps on how company can implement human resource planning in order to make its strategy and work well with the company. But I only explain 3 of it as Netflix as an example. Firstly, they must analyze their own goal before proceed to doing any action. Netflix's vision and mission are to entertain the world and aims to reach their audience globally. In order to do that, they have their own organizational culture, which is they encourage independent decision making by their employee. The employee can share their information openly, freely, and diligently. Next, before the company want to start brainstorm the suitable strategy for the organization, they must figure out what they want to improve. We do this through environmental scanning. It includes 2 analyses, which is external analysis and internal analysis. For external analysis, the company must identify its own opportunities and threats, while internal analysis will identify its strength and weakness. Netflix has several strengths that makes them one of the top streaming service, which is like other company, Netflix also has its own weaknesses, which is great strength has bring Netflix to situation which they has a great opportunities, such as however, there are also traits that Netflix still has to pay attention to. So for the next step is on how does Netflix use their SWOT to make an ideal human resource planning. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Hurin, for the great explanation. Next, I will continue with another 3 steps of human resource planning. Next step is formulating strategy. Formulating strategy is moving from simple analysis to devising a coherent course of action. Due to that, before formulating strategy, we need to do SWOT analysis to make sure that all strategy will give a best result. This is the illustrator that shows human resources planning for formulating strategy. As for Netflix, we can take forecasting, demand and supply as a strategy that Netflix has been formulated in their company. As mentioned before in SWOT analysis, Netflix has a global presence and affordable to many Southeast Asian countries. So Netflix has formulated a strategy to make it more outstanding not only in Southeast Asian countries but other countries too. So what Netflix do is by increase the quantity of employees in marketing and strategy department under branch that handle countries decide SOTUS actions. This employee will have many interesting and splendid ideas to attract more subscribers due to new environments, so their idea must be fresh and updated from time to time. The reason why Netflix do this is to attract more subscribers by market more advertising and good promotions, so people will interest to subscribe with Netflix. Next is strategy implementation. This is the part where all the strategy will be implemented as the strategy formulation. This is the illustrate that show how strategy of human resource planning has been implemented. As for Netflix, how they implement the strategy is by having an organizational structure. Netflix has tried to implement a very organized and structured organizational in their company, so the employee will have a clear view on how to do their responsibility and tasks. Netflix very concerned with their employee performance. That is why Netflix try to provide a healthy and organized work structure, so their employee will feel happy to work under them. Netflix believe what Netflix give for their employees to make them feel welcome and happy to work under Netflix, and Netflix hope that the employee will give a good and excellent performance as the payback. Last step is by evaluation and assessment. This is the part where all the strategy and activity that be implemented will be evaluated by the manager to know whether the strategy and activity give the positive or negative result. As a ritual, most companies do the evaluations monthly or yearly, but for Netflix, evaluation is not something unusual because they frequently do the evaluations, so the employee will always get things ready anytime.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Syamimi binti Muhamad Usooff. I will be presenting on the outcomes in terms of recruitment and selection. First, in terms of recruitment, by referring to Netflix strategy implementation, it is said that the company's manager are the brand leader. So this benefits the hiring managers as they will be regarded as the best and the perfect role model for the interviewee to get right expectations about the company. So in preparing the hiring managers to be the brand leader, Netflix will send them to one-on-one coaching sessions with the talent acquisitions of professionals of the company. So this coaching session is to train the hiring managers on how to provide creative thinking and strategies in the recruiting process, so that they will be an excellent presentations of Netflix as a company to the candidates. For selection, in order to realize Netflix mission, they were encouraged to hire independent decision-making employees. So this will give advantage to the hiring managers as they will only hire the best candidates. Even in Netflix hiring policy, the focus of the policy is to only hire the best adults. Meaning of best adults here is the candidate must not only be be an adult, but must also be someone who will act in Netflix's best interest and support the desire for a high-performance workplace. Because we know the work culture in Netflix is about work-life balance on your own. So the hiring managers thought only the best candidates would thrive on the freedom given and would be worthy of the freedom given. So this gives advantage to the hiring managers to be strict on selecting the candidates because Netflix only want to work with independent decision-making employees.
Rahim, thank you Syamimi for your explanation. Now I will continue with the third outcome, which is training and development. Briefly, training and development is the continuous process of improving skill, gaining knowledge, clarifying concept and changing attitude through structure and planned education by which the productivity and performance of the employee can be enhanced. Basically, training and development emphasize on the improvements of the performance of individual as well as group through a proper system within the organization which focus on the skills, methodology and content required to achieve this objective. Good and efficient training of employees help their skills and knowledge development, which eventually help a company improve its productivity, leading to overall growth. Now the question is, does Netflix offer training? The answer is absolutely yes. As for Netflix, they empower their subject matter expert as a part-time instructor to deliver exceptional workshop through the use of checklists. Jasmine Developer Education Team recruits and support Netflix engineer as subject matter expert SMEs to facilitate most of the internal training workshops. This approach of having internal subject matter expert offer peer-to-peer training sessions and workshops has been a great success. The plus system is set up so that many employees can add an event. Removing event creation barrier has led to increased adoption of the event registration system, providing a centralized location for internal company event and growth twice in number of events created. According to Jasmine, who is one of developer education team at Netflix, pointed out that creating and providing training is expensive, and that they want to ensure they are maximizing the time of their training facilitator and learner. They need an efficient way to ensure quality training for their engineers. Somehow, Jasmine finds the solution for the challenge by having a checklist. Checklists have become an essential part of her team toolbox for several reasons, which describe checklists as a cognitive safety net so that their employees do not have to remember everything. Next, I will move to our last outcome, which is compensation. In a very simple terms, compensation is the result or reward that the employees receive in return for their work. For Netflix compensation strategy is unique in that it does not use a matching system or salary range to determine the fair market value of a particular role. Netflix will pay the top of employee personnel market for a position. This means that they use market data to determine the maximum fee for that skill set and offer the best salary to the candidate. They are usually calibrated once a year. With this approach, the compensations of an employee could increase rapidly, while another with different skill could remain stagnant. The labor market decide. Another interesting aspect of Netflix compensation strategy is allowing employees to choose how much of their compensation is paid in cash versus stock option. Netflix assumes that applicants will have an informed understanding of the risks and rewards associated with different compensation mixes and allows individuals to decide based on their needs and ease with risk. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, as conclusion for our video, we can see human resource planning is one of the important things that must be implemented. For the first part, Hurin and Amira already explained about the 6 steps as element of the human resource planning. These 6 steps can be very helpful in organized employees in organization or company. Started with analyze or set the vision and mission, and the last step is evaluation and assessment towards the employees. Next, the second part, which is about the outcome from the best practices presented by Syamimi and Najwa. By having all these outcomes, it's shown that the human resource planning has been successfully implemented. That's all from us about the issue of human resource planning, and hope you guys can understand what we present today. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.